What
Awesome.
qualifies as undervalued? Like, what do you look for that then qualifies a land as undervalued for you?
Yeah, so it's just comping land, so figuring out like what the value is of it is the same as other types of real estate. It's just you're comparing different things. So like if you're comping a house to figure out what it's worth, you're looking at other stuff that's sold on the market with like the same bedrooms, the same square footage, those type of things. It's the same thing you do with land. It's just
Yeah.
instead of that, you're looking at the size of the property, the zoning uses for the property, what is it farmland? Is it wooded? Is it residential land? It's the same things, you're just looking at stuff that's on market and figuring out what other stuff is selling for and how much you think that this would sell for.
And you said something else too I wanna understand a little bit is you obviously mentioned, as you were going down this pathway, you were intentionally looking for ways to be an investor, it sounds like, when you then were working for this individual who was doing some work that was, at least related space. Did you purposely try to target and find individuals like that to work for because you knew this was the path that you wanted to go down, or did it just happen by accident?
Yeah, I mean, I started working for him because I wanted to get into real estate, and he was doing a lot of different things, and he was just somebody good to learn from,
Yeah.
because he was actively doing all of it. I mean, like, I've always wanted to start a business and, do stuff on my own, basically, and
Uh-huh.
the best way to make money, I think, is real estate. So that's why I reached out to him because somebody to learn from.
No, it's awesome. I mean, I think, not enough people approach their careers or future, however you wanna say, that way. Instead, I think oftentimes, it is that route of, okay, off to university to study something that you think you wanna do, but you really don't know, but then you get committed to it, and then you come out, and then you're like, "Well, I should probably keep giving this a go." But oftentimes, some of those routes mean, starting somewhere where you're far from, I'd say, that engagement that you can get with the movers and shakers in the company, the leaders, whatever it is. There's often so many layers. So I really like your approach. My neighbor here was saying for the way he's trying to do that now is he's got kids that are just getting out of high school. And he's like, no, anything that they want to do and explore, he's like, he wants them to go and work for somebody for at least 3 months doing that to decide if they still want to go down that pathway. So anyway, I think the way that you did it is really smart because a lot of people could have spent a lot of time wasted. Like some people would be like, I got to go and spend all the time just saving the money. Whereas I'm sure when you work with somebody like that, you also start thinking creatively about the creative finance and probably even about how you raise funds instead of just thinking about how you save enough, for your own. Am I
It,
making
Mhm.
good assumptions?
it's the old school apprentice model
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
feels like a lot of people don't take advantage of anymore. I don't know why, because I think it definitely is tested, so why not?
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, to add on top of that, I think doing that really helped me learn, but then I had a regular job for a couple years,
Okay.
and that really helped just to one, it helped me with learning as well because, I think if I just went straight into real estate, I wouldn't be able to scale up my business, as methodically as I do
Yeah.
because my job was a RevOps consultant. So, like, I did a lot with revenue operations and
Okay.
creating the SOPs and everything, so
Yeah.
I think I did learn a lot of that I helped to integrate into real estate, and
Especially the
I tell a
structure, it
lot
sounds like too. Yeah.
yeah, I tell a lot of people if they're gonna get into real estate, like, don't quit your job right away because it's a good way to help supplement your income meantime, and then 2, it's like especially for younger people, it's a good just to learn what it's like to have a corporate type job. Now you can integrate that into your real estate business.
Yeah. Or for some people, learn why they don't want to stay in that type of job forever, which motivates them even more towards, yeah,
Yeah.
other things, but, Art and I both come from, yeah, corporate, worlds, and no, it's got its great. I mean, as you just were mentioning with SOPs, that, like, the process, the things that we learned through that, amazing and great for us, and it's a big difference when we talk to entrepreneurs now, where you see those who might not have had that background are sometimes inundated by like scale. Everything else is a little bit harder, whereas sometimes in an organization like that, you're doing it on a regular basis. So on that scale note, you've now done this with how many properties?
Last year I did a little bit over 100. The year before that I did a little bit over 50,
Wow.
and, the year before that was, like, around, 25, 30, something like that.
Okay.
So, basically, I've been doubling every
Doubling.
year.
Yeah.
That's been my goal, and the way I'm able to do that is just because it's a cash heavy business. So like everything I'm doing, it takes money to buy it. So as I make more profit, I'm able to scale up and buy more properties. And I
Right.
just keep reinvesting every year. So this year I probably won't double, but that's just because I bought some more expensive
Okay.
properties. So instead of like the number going up in total, like, it's just bought some more expensive things.
Okay, got you. Well, for you, where do you still have like specific states or areas that you like to shop in?
Yeah. So like just kind of like a going back one step on like overall the type of land
Okay.
that I buy. There's a lot of different ways that you can do land, vacant land. I like to focus on residential, rural, recreational land. So land that's going to be used for like cabins, lake properties, hunting land, camping properties, stuff like that. Usually it's 1 to 3 hours outside of a major city. And it's going to be used for like mostly those recreational purposes, but also some residential. So some people, you can build houses on it, or you can move a mobile home on it, or you could live off grid on it. So that's the type of land I focus on instead of stuff that's in the city. Because when it's in more of a like in the city more, it's usually the lots are a little there's less variation on price. So it's a little bit harder to get them at a lower price. And then it's also harder to sell them because you have to find somebody who wants to build in them. There's really only one use case, which is building on those properties. Like you can't have all these other use cases. So you have to find somebody who wants to buy that property. Plus, they also want to spend the hundreds of thousands to actually build on the property too. So your buyer pool is pretty small. With
Yeah.
the land that I sell, I could sell it to somebody who wants to build a cabin or they want to build a house. Maybe they just want to pull their RV on it and go camping. Maybe they don't want to do anything. They just want to use it for hunting. Maybe they have a mobile home and they want to move their mobile home onto the property and live on it. They can do
Yeah.
that. I saw a lot of people live off grid. So there's a ton of different use cases, which makes it, I can sell it to more people and it makes it a lot easier to sell. So that's kind of the land that I focus on is more the unrestricted land because it's just easier. And also you get a little bit better spread percentage wise on it because I can buy it cheaper, but still mark it up to a higher price.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And then are you normally doing, are you flipping it or are you doing more seller financing?
Yep. So what I do is I buy it. So I don't wholesale it actually. Majority of the time I'll buy it outright, so it goes under my
Yeah.
name, and then I sell it. So I buy it with cash because it's hard to get financing on the deals when you're not actually building on the property. So I
Yeah.
buy it with cash, and then I sell it either for cash or I'll do the seller financing model where somebody gives me a down payment, and instead of it's like let's say if they're going to buy it from me for $30,000. Instead of them bringing me $30,000 cash to close, they'll give me 3,000 and then $500 a month until that's paid off, plus interest on like an amortization schedule.